It's
So
too white.
this is a review of a games console, right?
Yeah.
So you'd think they would just review its merits, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's functionality, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a game.
Why wouldn't you? It's a piece of technology.
Yeah, am I right? Like, why wouldn't you? It's a game. It's a games console review. No, mate.
What?
So set the stage. So this is a very interesting one. Have you seen this?
Oh, it looks like a withered vagina. Let's see what's.
Have you not seen? Oh, so you haven't seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. What is this?
So this is a Kotaku review, right, of the PS5.
Okay.
And they start off with this.
That can come into it. I don't mind.
On my desk, staring at the PlayStation 5 looming over my media stand. Entertainment center. It's a little too grandiose for the small piece of Target furniture that holds all my gaming stuff on. Blah blah blah. They're like, how can anyone at this very point in time review this thing? So you know exactly what they're gonna, you know what angle they're taking with this, don't you?
It's too white.
This is a review of a games console, right?
Yeah.
So you'd think they would just review its merits, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's functionality, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a game.
Why wouldn't you? It's a piece of technology.
Yeah, am I right? Like, why wouldn't you? It's a game. It's a games console review. No, mate.
What?
So set the stage. They set the stage. Hi, ladies and gents. Probably already started the video by now. Because we just got to dive into it. This is me and Dave. We're talking about the PS5 review on Kotaku. How do they have credibility is beyond me. But basically, this is the PS5 review on Kotaku, and it's an absolute joke. So they start out with all of this, right? And they're like, yeah, how can I review it? You know, how am I going to review this thing? What will my boss review it? And you're like, oh yeah, okay. But then they close with that thing of like, what should I cover? How can I review this thing? How can anyone at this very moment in time review this thing? And you're like, that's a bit of an odd statement to make in a review, isn't it? What angle are you going to take there? Kotaku, well-known, highly regarded games website. That's sarcasm. So basically,
you're American.
Let's start with the basics. PS5 launches next Thursday. It's X, Y, and Z. You're like, oh yeah, it's got a bit of money. It costs this much, and here's some basic stuff. It's a beefy boy. You're like, oh yeah, all right, we'll get into it now. Cool.
Okay.
They're talking about a bit of specs. You're like, great,
as you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In many ways, the PS5 feels like a more significant upgrade. Oh, they're getting some good reviews. Nice. Epic. A bit of puns. Getting so punny with your puns. Cutie with a booty.
Oh, look at you.
and then you're like, oh, interface. You're like, epic. All this stuff. Right?
Good.
Basically, you're like, yeah, good. The bare bones of a product review. You're like, this is good. Looks all right. Here's some good stuff. Here's some bad stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's overwhelmingly positive. People love this thing, and they really like the thing, which is because I watched some. I watched like Dave, the tech reviewer guy, and I watch MKBHD or whatever his bloody name is, Mark Brownlee. The big feedback is the feedback on the controller. People really like it. They think it's fascinating because it gives you tactile feedback through your fingertips. Like it's good. Like it's really, really interesting. There's gauges on the triggers that will, indicate exactly how much you're actually causing firepower and all this kind of crap. Like it's groundbreaking stuff. Big updates. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a pretty overwhelmingly positive review. Very clearly. People are like, yeah, great, 13 seconds. Oh, this is the comparison, so it's very clearly it's rapido by comparison, isn't it?
Wow. Yep.
Like it's epic. What an epic piece of machinery.
Why wouldn't I buy it?
Exactly. And then we go all the way, through here. You're like, okay, yeah, great. It's great again. They double down on it all. There's a bit of comparison to June in there because I guess get that sweet SEO. Why not?
Yeah. I feel like there's a butt just about to happen here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with you, mate? Of course there's a butt. There's a big old butt.
Big old butt.
Does it really matter? There you go. There's the butt. But does it really matter?
Oh wow, there is actually a butt.
Fucking games console, you twats. What are you doing? Okay, this review has spent they even know exactly how much it's spent. They put it in the word count. 3,000 words talking about the PlayStation 5, which is the most I've written about anything. Clearly bloody good then, isn't it?
What?
Obviously not, because it doesn't matter. It's as good a video games console as there has ever been. It's the best thing ever, is what they're saying. That is literally what he's just said there, yeah?
Yeah.
The combination of ultra high definition video, increased frame rates, high end graphic techniques like ray tracing, and the lightning fast SSD make it feel like a real deal next gen successor to the PS4. And if you're not ready to give up on the previous console, the PlayStation 5 reliably runs a vast majority of the PS4 library, with many of those games receiving upgrades to fidelity, frame rate, and loading times.
Yeah.
Doubles down on it all.
Yeah.
But I'd be remiss to ignore all the reasons not to be excited for the PS5. Not actual stuff about the PS5. I'm just going to let that sink in. The world is still reeling under the weight of the COVID-19 pandemic. What? Sorry, I wanted to hear about Sony making a new games console.
Yeah.
What are you doing? There are more Americans out of work right now than at any point in the country's history. So, escapism would be great. Like the PS5. With no relief in sight. I thought there was lots of relief. There were like 2 trillion or some nonsense like that in the States, wasn't it?
Yes, something like, you know what? I feel like he wrote
you ever bring in healthcare system. The healthcare system is an inherently evil institution that forces people to ration life-saving medications like insulin and choose suicide over suffering with untreated mental illness. What?
What?
What? I'm not. It's right there. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I thought this was a PS5 review. Why are you talking about that, guys? What's going on? You've completely shit the bed, Kotaku. What is going on? Seriously?
Do you feel like he got up to about 2,900 words and got a call saying his wife was going to divorce him? And then he went, well, then I'm going to write about this.
His sex, mate. It might be quasi-bilateral, translucent.
Whatever the reason, it shifted completely to nonsense. So,
and he continues. He just continues. As I'm writing this, it looks very likely that Joe Biden will be our next president. But it's clear that the worst people aren't going away just because a new old white man is sitting behind the Resolute desk. Well, at least not this old white man. Our government is fundamentally broken in a way that necessitates radical change rather than incremental electoralism. This is in a PS5 review. This is in a PS5 review. I'm just throwing that out there once more with a bit of force and a bit of passion. The harsh truth is that for the reasons listed above and more, a lot of people simply won't be able to buy a PlayStation 5, regardless of supply, or if they can, concerns over increasing austerity in the United States and the growing threat of widespread political violence supersede any enthusiasm about the console's SSD or how ray tracing makes reflections more realistic. That's not to say you can't be excited for those things. I certainly am, on some level. But there's an irrefutable level of privilege.
There it is.
Attached to the ability to simply tune out the world as it burns around you.
Well, I need my PS5 then.
Surely the PS5 will allow you to do that.
What the?
I'm speechless.
I find this hilarious. This is amazing. That guy was having a bad day. Oh my god.
Can you? It continues.
Oh, good. I love this.
Fuck's sake.
I'm gonna read this guy more.
I won't deny that video games can be an escape. Oh, thanks. Stunning and brave. It feels great to lose yourself in a fictional world where you can fix everything. Some of us see a strength or personality trait in video game characters, what we wish we saw in ourselves. As much as it sucks for real-world problems to intrude on that space, you're doing it right now, you pleb. I find it increasingly difficult to focus on video games amid our current situation. So you literally inflicted that upon everyone else in your own review. You're like, I can't tune it out, so I'm just going to make everyone else do it as well.
This guy sounds great at parties, you know?
It does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It missed the buzzkill of Buzz Killington II.
Yeah.
Many nights, it's all I can do to play a couple runs on something before collapsing into bed for a few hours of doom scrolling and restless sleep. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. We are... World's smallest violin. We are collectively tired, and for good reason. Sony and Microsoft chose a hell of a time to release their next generation. They didn't know. What? And also, no offense, America, you're not the only place in the world. Just want to throw that out there. You are not the only place in the world. There are other countries that have to deal with other things, and they're more than happy with this, and they don't care about your election, just as a heads up.
Yep.
I know you know, it feels like you're the center of the planet, but you're not. And I've got an American here on the bloody, chat with me now. So
yeah, no, it's
tell from his epic accent.
I
complimented you. What are you laughing at? It's not an insult.
No, thank you.
Basically, I was going to say, but it's tough to recommend when folks are literally fighting for their lives while residing in the richest country in the world. I was very lucky to receive a PS5 for the purposes of this review, despite the fact that I'm comfortable enough to have bought one of my own. If you're in the same boat, I encourage you to grab the console and see what it's all about for yourself. If you aren't, don't feel like the PS5 would change your life. It's a video game system, and it's not going anywhere. I'm looking forward to a time when we can all chat about next-gen gaming on equal footing. It's got to be a quality gaming. Equality, like, that's it. Sony, you must sell them only for a penny. Fuck me.
I don't want to buy a PS5, Ian Walker. I want to find the nearest bridge, to be perfectly honest. I'm so mixed. What is this?
It's insane, isn't it? This guy I'm so confused.
I am. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Like, how did his editor-in-chief approve this?
I think what he did was the editor's like, do a positive spin. He's like, fine, but I want to talk about stuff. And he goes, bury it at the bottom line of the column then. I think he's buried it at the bottom. So I think the editor looked at maybe about 5 or 6 paragraphs, maybe halfway through a 3,000 word report, and then went, nah, don't worry about it. It's good. Post it. He did not read that.
I think this is the hilarious part of it all. So you got people saying, yeah, incredibly poignant. What?
Whoa, that comment.
What? Oh, we'll scroll up. We'll get demonetized for that.
All right.
Good God. Okay. So that's staff. We've got community. This is going to be hilarious, isn't it? Yup. What I want to read about.
Deal with it.
My reviews of products is the state of the world and politics. Best part of the review. Deal with it. Well, they are. They're writing a comment just so you can tell that they didn't like it. Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand how he could, again, spend the time to do 3,000 words. Must take a number of hours to do it.
Incredibly positive. He said it's the best games console ever to be made. Like, but just got to reiterate that. He said it's the best games console ever.
But that's what he jumps back to at the end, going, it's great. By the way, the world is burning down, but this is great. And it's like, what was that? It's like, what was that about? I don't understand. he's an interesting guy, say the least. I don't know if he's the best person to inspire positive thinking. Positive thinking makes you want to buy a product. You don't want to talk about the world burning down and think, you know what, actually, maybe I'll hold on to my money. I'm surprised the editor didn't pick up on that, to be honest. He must have not.
Third addition to this review, are we going to mention ongoing tragedies in every game of luxury items and consumer products? Here's an RTX 3080, but let's reflect on the pandemic that has killed. Like, what? You should probably, like, you probably should feel bad for buying this. Yeah, it's basically what they're saying, isn't it? Don't buy it. You should feel bad if you do. Like, piss off. Like, unbelievable.
Can we not just enjoy simple things?
Like, well, apparently not, mate. Apparently not.
Like, PS4 came out and everyone was like, it's amazing, it can do this, you can immerse yourself in a world that has connectability, you can play somebody in Mexico if you're in England, you can connect with the world through gameplay. This is, the world is burning down, feel guilty about buying it. What is this?
Isn't it? I'm baffled. So anyway, Kotaku have continuously proven themselves to be a big joke. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, we can all agree. Yeah. Good. I didn't introduce this video, but this is Dave, the production manager for Production H Films. If you enjoy his addition to some videos, we've got the opportunity to do some of these here, there, during the week. So please give the video a big thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments. But thank you all so much for watching. Any you plug your social media. Go on.
I'm being graphic on Twitter and on Instagram.
Oh, 18 plus. No, it's not that. It's not that kind of graphic. All right.
That's
you
why
and I'm like, well, how graphic are you being?
Basically, none of my family know it exists. But go on there. I do some sketching of pop culture stuff and all that. But not what Mr. H thinks I do. Obviously, you've gone on websites that I have not done yet.
Right, anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Give the video a big thumbs up and a share. Cheers. Take care.